When Coach Simmons for the FAMU Rattlers had that drop the mic moment, everybody's wondering, what in the world does he have in store for the world to know that's getting ready to happen with the FAMU Rattlers football team? Well, normally when somebody dropped the mic, that means it's over. Ain't nothing else happening after this. It's over. And when I sat around, I did a little research to find out exactly what FAMU got going on over there with that football team. Oh, they got something a little extra great to come up in there called Showtime. We're going to talk about that right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get on in this thing. Because I'm like, Coach, wait a minute. What in the world are you talking about? Showtime? The only show they got going on over there is the March of 100. Listen to me. Listen to me. Yes, they got Showtime coming into Tallahassee to put on for the FAMU Rattlers football team. Now, understand this. The FAMU Rattlers, they lost some key players last season on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball that have moved on to go play on the professional ranks. And one of those key players that they lost was none other than Xavier Smith, who was a wide receiver for the FAMU Rattlers last season, who caught what I believe almost over 1,000 yards. He had over 1,000 yards in receptions last season. Now, the one thing everybody's wanting to know, how are you going to replace that type of production out there on the field? Well, like I said, don't get me wrong. They got another strong young man over there in Mr. Rd that's going to be out there on the field looking to put on and do his thing as well. And they got a couple of other athletes that's coming in on the offensive side of the ball that's going to do some damage as far as with getting out there, making sure Moussa is able to spread that ball around the field against opposing teams this upcoming season. Coach Simmons is wanting to make sure that when opposing teams come play this Rattlers offense, they understand one thing. You're not going to be able to shade left, making sure you got the coverage over one particular receiver. No, you're going to have to go ahead and cover that complete field. You're going to have to cover everybody that they put out there on the offensive side of the ball. All the nation say the March of 100 put on a show, and when they show up, they show out. So if you're sitting there saying, like, Coach, wait a minute, what other Showtime's coming into Tallahassee that's not the March of 100? Well, let me tell you this. This young man is from the area. And I'm sure many of you may know who this young man is because he played football in the area in Orlando, Florida. And I mean, this young man put on out there on that field. And I know you're like, Coach, who are you talking about? I'm talking about none other than Chris Showtime Reed, wide receiver, 6 foot, 192 pounds, from Orlando, Florida, transfer from Utah University, coming home to put on a show in front of his family and friends, and all of those out there that was used to watching this young man get off and play ball at a high school. I do apologize if I mispronounced the name of that high school, but yes, this young man showed up and showed out at that high school. Now, Reed's ability to break away from defenders out there on the field when running routes and catching passes at their highest point is going to be something to watch this upcoming season. Reed has the ability to break away from defenders and catch passes at their highest point. You can put him at the Y or the Z and just let this young man go to work. Route running ability, along with his speed and Moussa throwing passes to him down the field, is going to be something special to watch. Because remember last season, Xavier Smith was able to get open and catch from Moussa at a high clip. But remember one thing. The receiving room for the FAMU Rattlers is deep. It's not a shallow room now, guys. I'm putting that out there because one thing we're going to see competition as far as who's going to be out there on that field playing, because there's some seniors that's looking to make sure they leave the program on a high note, making sure that when those recruits come in there and check them out to possibly want to bring them in for them to play on these professional teams, they want to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward. So you already know the Rattlers football team is definitely going to be getting after this upcoming season on that football field. I mean, think about it. You got, 4 receivers that's going to close out for the Rattlers this year in Sherrod, Oxidine, Young, and Pruitt. You already know they're going to come out there and maximize everything that they possibly can to show that, hey, we're coming out here, we're going to lead this thing in the right way, and that is making sure we knock everybody off to get ourselves into that championship round to play for not only the SWAC championship, but also the Celebration Bowl as well. Reed did get a little playing time while he was at Utah. He played on special teams as well as played at the wide receiver position. Now, those of you who remember this young man when he played at Waukee High School know he lives up to the name Showtime, especially during his senior year of high school when this young man had 14 TDs and 1,000 yards receiving. Coach, I want to say congratulations to Chris Reed on becoming a FAMU Rattler, and definitely look forward to seeing him and the Rattlers football team get out there and do some phenomenal things this upcoming season. But until next time, be the one and lead.